Hey guys, yeah, I just woke up right now. You can see me. I look at my face and just I don't know, decided to wear a cap. Yeah, so I just had an epiphany that I thought that I should share with the world. I think people have usually have some certain misconceptions about it, and I think this is valuable information that people really need to not only understand but internalize. Yeah, and this is about reality. You see how people usually say like, "Oh, life is unfair. Oh, life is not fair. Is this shouldn't have happened. I don't know, man. I did all the work. It should have been that way. Blah blah blah. And I'm not saying blah 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 in trying to disrespect what you've done in your life. What I'm saying is that there's something called like objective reality. And if you look at things wholesomely, then you'll realize that there's no such thing as life being unfair. Life is and has always been fair, you know? And it's I'm trying to think of a good word. I think it's our emotions that, create that, you know, visualization that life is supposed to be fair for everyone with their own subjective wants and needs, and life doesn't operate on subjectivity. In a sense, it has some certain rules and laws that you have to follow. For example, if you're going to, let's say, jump on top of a high or big tall building, however you choose to interpret it. Yeah, if you do that, you're gonna fall. It doesn't matter if you believe in angels are gonna come and you know take take you and make sure that you don't fall. It doesn't even matter if you believe that you can levitate. You have you have psychic powers or something like that. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think any of that will happen. If you jump from top, you're always going to fall down. So for another person, maybe probably he's prayerful. He might think, "Oh my God, if I jump, I'll be saved." And then when he falls, probably survives, and he probably is paralyzed. He or she might interpret it as, "Oh my God, life is unfair, man. I prayed so hard. Things should have happened, but it didn't." Yeah, I think you get like the full picture of what I'm trying to say. So yeah, life is life is always fair, has always been fair, will always be fair, and things will always be that way. The people who like seem to win, it's like they understand these things. They understand the core rules of how the world works and manipulate it to their own advantage. So if you feel like you're not born in a privileged situation, they had in a way manipulated that. They didn't manipulate reality and make it seem like they have an advantage. They just understand the core rules of how reality works. Yeah, so we are so fed with so much biases that we believe that I don't know, everyone deserves this and that without actually understanding the core rules. And it's not something that we are taught in schools. We just taught the usual boring things, blah 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 blah, how to best get employed, or how to mingle with other people without causing trouble. I know it's getting a little bit Ubermensch here, Frederick Nietzsche. Yeah, but that's a topic for another day. But what I'm trying to say is that there's your rules that are made up or indoctrinated, and there are reality rules that are objective, immovable. Yeah, those cannot be changed. And the quicker you adapt to them or lean onto them, the better your life seems to go. When let's say you're doing like you know, you're doing like, let's say you're going to the gym. Maybe you're fat. I don't know. Right now, I think I'm around 76 kgs. I'm trying to get around 66 by maybe June, I guess. So imagine if I started saying, if I June, arrives and it's time to start saying like, oh my God, life is so unfair. I did everything. I don't know what happened. And probably maybe I did work out, but my diet was not, at where it was required to, to have that perfect, calorie intake and outtake. So yeah, if I follow the calorie intake and outtake and work out in the gym, I'm obviously going to see the results. But if I just ignore that and then have my own biases or delusions, I guess, of how, I don't know, reality works, then I'm always gonna get the same results. So if you think wholesomely about how life is, how people choose to interpret it with their own interpretations, their own discrimination about politics, religious, societal, you'll see that they are the one who are actually deluding themselves and thinking that they deserve everything because they believe in their own biases, but they don't want to align with what really works. Yeah, and the top people know this. I think it's something that I've had an epiphany, and I've realized that actually life is not that unfair, or it's not actually unfair. It's just that people play a game and they don't know the rules. If you know the rules, you'll adjust accordingly. If you don't, you'll just keep on going in circles and complaining, and then until you drop dead. Yeah, and it becomes like you know a recurring thing in your family, in your society, or whatever or whoever you associate yourself with, even in relationships. I guess, let's say, let's say if you're putting too much effort and the other person is not, and you might interpret it as caring. It's caring. You're doing your very best, but he might or she might interpret it as over dependency of feelings, or you're giving like you have no, like you're not pre-selected. It seems like you have like you just you got lucky just to have me or have her, and no one else could have chosen you. So you see, but in your interpretation you're like, yeah, I did this and this and that and want the ROI, the return on investment, but sadly that's not how it goes. It's like the lesser somebody puts effort, the more like the relationship drives. Yeah, okay, I'm not a dating coach, but these are things that I've actually observed. Yeah, and I think you have observed too in your life, and I'm not capping. Yeah, and that again is to show that there are certain rules that people are not aware of. They think that their basis is correct, it's objective, and it's not, and they are not aligning. So people need to be like, you need to be like, step back, look at things objectively with no ego, and understand how shit works. I think if you do that, you'll be far much better, and you'll be much more likely to adapt and progress, or we call progress. Reality doesn't care about progress. It's you who put the interpretation. Maybe for someone, progressing is committing atrocious crimes, I guess. Another person is being innovative, creating new technology, and doing the what we call consider positive. Yeah. So I don't want to go into too much. Probably I'll do another video on this. And yeah, I just had an epiphany. I thought, oh, probably I should share with the world and hear what you're gonna say or your comments. I would appreciate to see what you have to say about this. Probably I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Yeah, and see you next time. Sure.